Hello children, I am so glad to see you all again. So in this video, we are going to learn a new lesson from 6th English, Term 2, Unit 2, Supplementary, Gulliver's Travel. So children, Gulliver, so he is the main character of the story. So this is an imaginary and very interesting story. So this is specially for children, so you can enjoy listening to this story. Okay, so let's move to the story now. So before that, let us all learn the glossary from the story. Voyage, நீள் பயணம், கடற்பயணம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. தட் இஸ் கால்டு வாயேஜ், கடற்பயணம். வயலண்ட் அப்படின்னா வன்முறை, ஃபைட். ஓவர் டர்ன், கவிழ்த்து விடுறது. ஓகே. டெரிஃபை, அச்சுறுத்து, பயம்புறுத்து சொல்லுவாங்க. தட் இஸ் கால்டு டெரிஃபை. பசில் அப்படின்னா வியக்க, ஓகே, அப்படியே ஆச்சரியமாக. ஸ்லண்டர், மெல்லிய, சாஃப்ட், தின். பெக்ஸ் அப்படின்னா ஆப், ஓகே, நம்ம மாடெல்லாம் கட்டுறதுக்கு நம்ம ஒரு முளைக்குச்சி மாதிரி அடிப்பல்ல, தட் இஸ் கால்டு பெக்ஸ். சின், முகவாய் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ யூ கேன் see it on the screen, there is a girl. ஸோ அவளுக்கு அந்த வாய் கீழே இருக்கிற அந்த பகுதியை தான் இங்கிலீஷில் சின் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். ஓகே. ஸோ குய்வர், அம்பரா துணி. ஸோ யூ கேன் see it on the picture, there is a picture on the screen. So that is called quiver. So soldiers will keep this behind them to keep a bow and arrow in the battlefield. ஓகே. நம்ம படத்தெல்லாம் பார்த்துருப்போம்ல, இந்த போர் வீரர்கள்லாம் பின்னாடி ஒரு இது மாதிரி வச்சுருப்பாங்க, அந்த அம்பெல்லாம் வைக்கிறதுக்கு. தட் இஸ் கால்டு குய்வர். ஸோ யூ கேன் see it on the picture. ஸ்டார்டல்டு அப்படின்னா திடுக்கிடு, பயம்புறுத்து அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். கெஸ்டர், சைகை காட்டுறது, சிக்னல் காட்டுறது, தட் இஸ் கால்டு கெஸ்டர். ஜாயண்ட், மிகப்பெரிய, அரக்கன் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். கார்னிவல், திருவிழா, ஃபெஸ்டிவல். அம்யூஸ்மெண்ட், பொழுதுபோக்கு, அம்யூஸ்மெண்ட் பார்க்குன்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல, தட் இஸ் கால்டு பொழுதுபோக்கு அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். கெட்டி அப்படின்னா தலை சுற்றுகின்ற, ஃபெயிண்ட், மயக்கமாகிறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். So now let's move to the story now. So Gulliver, a ship's daughter, took a job on a ship that was going on a long voyage. The voyage started well, but soon things changed dramatically. The ship got caught in a violent storm and was thrown off course. So children, I told you already, Gulliver, so he's a main character. So he's a doctor in the ship. He works in the ship. Okay, so one day they have decided to go for a voyage. ஸோ வென் தே ஸ்டார்டட் தேர் வாயேஜ், இட் ஸ்டார்டட் வெரி வெல். அவங்க பயணத்தை மேற்கொண்டாங்க. என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, அது நல்லா ஆரம்பமாக இருந்துச்சு. பட் சூன் திங்ஸ் சேஞ்ச் ட்ராமட்டிக்கலி. பட் சடன்லி சம்திங் ஹேப்பன்ட் ட்ராமட்டிக்கலி. ட்ராமட்டிக்கலினா திடீர்னு அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஏதோ திடீர்னு நடந்துடுச்சு. that ship caught in a violent storm and was thrown off course. Okay, so the ship has caught in a violent storm. Stormனா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், புயல். So the storm, the ship got into the storm. So it was broken. The ship was broken into pieces because of the storm. Then it hit a rock and broke up completely. 6 of the crew members, including Gulliver, got into a small boat and drove until they were overturned by a big wave which came up suddenly. So I told you already, children. So that ship has got into a storm. So that storm led it to a rock. Okay, so that ship hit a rock and it was broken into pieces. That ship was broken into pieces. So everyone were in the ship fell into the water. So 6 of crew members, how many people were in the ship? 6 members, including Gulliver. So they took a small boat. After that incident, they took a small boat. They were rowing on it. They were rowing in the ocean. What happened suddenly? A big wave. வேவ்னு அர்த்தம், அந்த அலைகள் என்ன பண்ணிடுச்சு, அந்த சின்ன போட்டையும் கவுத்தி விட்டுருச்சு. ஓகே, சடன்லி இட் the boat collapsed, overturned. Gulliver was a good swimmer and he managed to swim till he reached the land. So listen children, Gulliver is a great swimmer. So because of that, he could reach the land. Okay, so everyone was there in the ship dead. Okay, so Gulliver only alive. So finally he reached the land. The coast appeared strange and lonely. So I told you children, finally he got to the land. But in the land, no one was there. It was looking strange and lonely. அந்த இடம் பார்க்கறதுக்கு ஒரு புதுசா, ஸ்ட்ரேஞ்சுன்னு அர்த்தம், புதுசா இருக்குது. Lonely means what? தனிமையா இருக்குது. Gulliver dragged himself along the shore. He pulled himself in the land to reach the land. He looked for some people for our houses. He was looking for any people or any houses in the land, in the island, but he could not find anybody. But there was no sign of life. So Gulliver could not find any sign of life. Okay, that means no one was in the island. Hungry and exhausted, had fell on a perch of grass and fell into a deep sleep. So Gulliver was so tired and he was so hungry. So because of that tired, he fell asleep. He fell into a deep sleep. என்ன பண்ணிட்டாரு, அப்படியே அந்த டயர்டில் பயங்கரமாக தூங்கிட்டார். When Gulliver woke up, he was lying on his back and the sun was in his face. So when Gulliver woke up, the sun was in his face. அவர் மூஞ்சில வெயில் அடிச்சிட்டு இருக்கு. Okay, he was lying on his back. அவர் அதாவது முதுகு கீழே இருக்கிற மாதிரி படுத்துட்டு இருக்கார். When he tried to get up, he found himself unable to sit up or move at all. So Gulliver tried to get up, but he could not wake up. He could not even move. What happened? He could not. He was not unable to wake up or move. Something happened. Terrible and puzzled, he could not believe his eyes. What is happening? Why can't I move? Why can't I wake up? Why can't I take my hand? He could not believe his eyes. He was terrified. பயந்துட்டார். Puzzled. அப்படியே ஒரு மாதிரி புதிரா இருக்குது அவருக்கு. He tried to turn his head. So இப்போ திரும்பி பார்க்குறாரு. He found his arms and legs were securely tied with slender strings on each side and attached to the pegs fixed on the ground. So when he looked at back, he was tied up. He was completely tied up with rock with strings. You know, string means what? அந்த சின்ன சின்ன கயிறுக கம்பிகளை வச்சு கட்டியிருக்கிறாங்க. யாரை? அவரை கட்டியிருக்காங்க. And pegs, you know, the pegs mean அந்த முளைக்குச்சின்னு சொன்னல, that is called, they used this pegs to tie him up. His hair, which was long and thick, was similarly tied down. Even his hair also was tied on the ground. So what happens is, completely he was tied up with someone. So you could not move, you could not wake up, you could not stand up. Someone tied him up. So you can see it in the picture how he was tied up, isn't it? So listen children, you can see it in the picture. So there are a lot of small people around here, isn't it? There are a lot of small people around him. They have tied him up by using the thread and the strings, isn't it? And the tick போட்டிருக்கல, that is called pegs. So which is using to tie him up on the ground. So okay, they have brought a lot of things. They have brought horses, they have brought barrels. So you can see it in the picture. So he felt something moving along his body almost up to his chin. So when he was lying on the bed, he felt something is moving on his cheek. அவர் ஏதோ ஃபீல் பண்ணாரு, ஏதோ ஒரு தாடியில் நடந்து போகிற மாதிரி. To his surprise, he saw a human being not 6 inches high with a bow and arrow in his hands and a quiver at his back. When he opened his eyes, he could not believe his eyes because those people were so small. Their size was 6 inches only. நம்ம ஸ்கேல் பார்த்தோன்னா வச்சுக்க, அது 12 inches இருக்கும். ஆனால் அதோட பாதி இருக்குது. யார் அந்த மனுஷங்களும் அவ்வளோ சின்னதாக இருக்காங்க. They are so 6 inches. They are 6 inches height. And they had bow and arrow in their hands. அவங்ககிட்ட என்ன இருந்துச்சு? அம்புகளும் அந்த வில்லும் இருந்துச்சு அவங்க கையில். And they had quiver at his back. அவங்க பின்னாடி அந்த குயிவரும் இருந்துச்சு. Gulliver later learned that these creatures were called Lilliputians. Yes, finally Gulliver realized that these people were called Lilliputians. So the small people are called Lilliputians. Okay, it is an island. What island? Lilliput is an island, and Lilliputians is the name of the people who lives in the island. And he was startled by this sight. Gulliver cried out and soon managed to free his left arm. Okay, so he was frightened. Who was frightened? Gulliver was frightened. He was startled. பயந்துட்டார். So he started to wake up. என்ன அந்த பசல சின்ன சின்னதாக இருக்காங்க, ஏன் அந்த மக்கள் சின்ன சின்னதாக இருக்காங்க? He was frightened, startled, பயந்துட்டார். So when he tried to wake up, he could not move. When he tried to take his hand, what happens? The frightened Lilliputians fired dozens of tiny arrows into his hands, face, and body until he once again lay down calmly. When he tried to wake up, all the small creatures started firing at him by using bow and arrow. Bow and arrow அந்த வில்லையும் அம்பியும் வச்சுக்கிட்டு அவரை பயங்கரமாக தாக்குறாங்க. Because These Lilliputians were frightened. ஐயோ பார்க்கறது giant மாதிரி இருக்கான். So he may kill us. So that we should not let him to wake up. That's why they are firing at him. So let's continue this story in the next video, children.